Matt, I think every musician is dreaming about getting an endorsement deal. Can you remember how you got your first endorsement deal?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the big thing with endorsements is not to discourage kids that are in local bands. You kind of have to have something that's going to make the endorsement company want to endorse you. So typically, I mean, we didn't see any endorsements until we were first signed. We were signed originally to Light Force Records, didn't get any endorsements then, but when we got signed to Roadrunner Records, not due to the record label, but due to the kind of buzz that was going on with our band, that's when companies started approaching us. And the first major company to endorse us ever, when I was like 18 or so, was Marshall Amps, which I could not believe. And the way it came about, I think we were playing a show in upstate New York, and Nick Bocott was there, who still works at Marshall, was a good buddy of ours. He was at the show, and he saw us. We were opening up for Dillinger Escape Plan. It was Dillinger Escape Plan, The End, Red, Yellow, and Trivium. We were first of 4 for all those bands. And so we played this show to kids that didn't really quite like us, but Nick Bocott really dug it. And then he said, hey, I'd love to outfit you guys with amps. And then from around when I was 18 to 22, 23, we were exclusively playing Marshalls on stage. We had 36 Marshall cabs on stage, and we played down low and always used their heads. The JVM 210 was something they helped build later on. That's something that I loved, that I used for years and years live. So they were the first company that endorsed us. And I guess you see a lot of guitar players, I guess the technical flashy guys that jump from company to company to company to company, that have all these different companies endorsing them. I've always liked to do it with when you find something you love and find something that really works with what you're going for at that point in time, finding it and sticking with it. So the big thing with getting endorsement, if you're a local band, I mean, it's going to be hard. Sorry kids, it's going to be difficult. But if you've got something going on with your playing that maybe national acts don't have, like you're the best shredder in your hometown of Hamburg or something, then you'll have a better chance of having a company maybe approach you. But going to a company is just as difficult as going to a record label and saying, hey, please sign me. Because for a company, yeah, some companies give free gear. A lot of companies just give like a discount for artists. Like some of the companies we play, because they're smaller boutique companies, we still have to buy the stuff from them. But obviously, like with my signature guitar through Epiphone, that's something that they give me to play, and then it's that kind of deal. I'm not buying them off of them, except if it's more than the deal. They usually negotiate different terms with bands. Like I get 8 per cycle, and if I want more than that, I can buy them at a discounted rate. So every band guy's got a different deal with a different company.
And when did you get your first signature deal?
My signature guitar just came out. I don't even know it's out. It's coming out in a couple of days or so, but it's here at Messe. That's the whole reason why I'm here, just to kind of show off my signature guitar that came out. I pretty much have played Gibson from when I was 11 years old till early 20s. I wasn't a formal artist because we were too small of a band. I played a different guitar company for about a year just because I never thought Gibson would endorse me. The stuff with that company went okay, but it wasn't really a guitar for me. And then randomly one day, Gibson Germany office contacted me and said they want to work with me. And so I've been playing them exclusively since then. Since the Unholy Alliance tour in 2007, that's when I first got picked up by Gibson. And so I play Gibson Custom Shop, Gibson USA, and Epiphone live exclusively for guitars.
And how does it work? Do you really sign a contract, or is it just shake hands and you say?
Signature models, some companies it is handshake. Well, good question. I think for most endorsements, if you don't have a signature model with your name on it, some companies like doing it by handshake. We've done that. I mean, with PV. I mean, PV's a company we don't use live, but it's something we use on every single record pretty much we've ever done. We always have a 5150. On our new record, we've got 5150, 3120, 6534, all these different PV heads, and we'll talk about them in all the interviews. We always just have their stuff on our websites and stuff, and they give us whatever heads we need to use. We use them on loan because we don't want to waste their stuff because we don't use them live. Live, we use digital amp modeling. We've been using the Fractal ActFX Ultras for a long time, but I just met the Kemper people, and Colin Richardson, who's mixing our new record, used a Kemper on our new record, and it sounds unbelievable. So hopefully the Kemper dudes want to work with us. So that's something I gotta go meet with them. I met with them yesterday and was really excited to meet them. So I guess that shows that even when you're in a signed band, it is still good for a band to go out there and meet the companies that are outfitting you to tour. So yeah, there's a lot of great companies out there that I personally use. Gibson and Epiphone for guitars. We're not formally endorsed by Kemper yet, so maybe them, but Dunlop I've been using for years for strings, picks, accessories, pedals. I've mentioned we had the relationship with Marshall for a long time, had a relationship with PV, and I guess there's really not too many else. Like, I never wanted to be one of those guys that had too many things. I know some of our fans were upset when I was with that one guitar company, left them to go to Gibson, but the reality is I've always wanted to be with Gibson. And that was just a 1.5-year hiatus because I never thought they'd want to talk to me because I thought that.
And when you have such a deal, which duties for you to come with such a contract? So do you have to go to fairs, or do they tell you you have to go to this and that events?
It's all voluntary. I mean, I think a lot of bands that even have signature stuff, I don't think they have to do it, but it's good to do it. I think that everything that we do with our band, we never think of it as, even with our record label, even with our management, we never think of it as people working for Trivium. We always think of it as a partnership with whoever we're with. So it's like Epiphone and myself, Gibson and myself, we're doing this together to get the name of both things out. So that's the way I think of it. I don't think all artists think of it that way. It's kind of who they are outside of the band before the band happened, like to see what kind of thing they would do with them. It's pretty, it's all a matter of what a band wants to do. But with things like using Dunlop, there's no contract. I mean, those guys they're just good pals of mine. And so it's all a matter of the band and the artist to make that relationship if it works out. Yeah.
And when you're signed to a band, are you allowed to play another guitar brand on stage as well?
With the way it works with Gibson and Epiphone, they've never told me, hey, don't play another guitar company or only play ours. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't play another guitar on stage or anything, just out of loyalty for who you're with. I think it's not as structured as like a music contract. I mean, when you're signed to a label, it's very rigid, and if you're getting signed, make sure you have a good entertainment lawyer. You want to set that up properly, because nowadays a lot of bands are getting totally screwed because the music industry is in a really rough spot right now due to the fact that people aren't buying albums and due to the fact that every kid thinks, well, bands don't make money off CDs, so I'm not going to buy a CD. And if you have 10 million kids that think that same attitude, then it becomes harder for bands. So if you're in a band, you're about to get signed, you definitely want to negotiate a good deal. So get a good management, get a good entertainment lawyer, something like that. But with endorsement companies, no, we haven't ever had to do contractual deals. Even with Gibson, I don't have a contractual deal, but obviously with my signature guitar, that's contractual because they're selling it, it's got my name on it, that kind of thing. So that's when it gets into that deal. And that's when it's also good to have great management team, great entertainment lawyers, so you're not getting screwed and the company's not getting screwed. You want protection for both parties.
I think you brought your new signature model.
Yes.
Maybe you'd like to introduce it to us.
All right, so this is the 7-string MKH Epiphone Les Paul Custom. What we did for both the 6 and 7-string, the 6-string is right there. What we did for both of them is I sent my original Les Paul Custom and I got when I was 11. It's a Gibson Les Paul Custom. It was built in the US. But it's basically the best playing guitar I own. It's better than any other guitar, any other Les Paul Custom I own, and we've used it to record most of our records. And since it worked out so well with that guitar, I sent that guitar to the Epiphone guys, and they did like a digital modeling of that guitar. So they spec'd off, obviously with the 7-string it's a little different, but with the 6, oh thank you. With the 6-string, it's modeled pretty much exactly like my old Les Paul Custom with a couple changes. We scooped out the neck back here to play for accessibility for playing, because usually Les Paul Custom heels are like out to here, and I find that kind of distracting. I wanted to keep it true to the original because I think the Les Paul Custom's a perfect guitar, except a couple things. Swapped out EMG 8185. It's a lot more plain, a lot more minimal, as you can see with the paint job, no pick guard. And that's really about it. I didn't want to mess with perfection too much. I didn't want to change something I thought was so perfect. And so it was just a matter of slight customization to something that I liked a lot. A big thing with my guitar that I really wanted to push was affordability. Because when I was a kid and I wanted to buy a signature guitar of my favorite artist, I knew that their main guitar was $5,000 and I couldn't afford that as a kid. And then they'd have like the cheaper model and it wasn't the same thing the guy was playing. And so basically with the Epiphones that I play on stage are the exact same ones that kids will be able to buy in stores. And these clinics I've been doing here, I didn't fly with one of my guitars. These two came out of a box yesterday. And so I played them on stage. I'm like, listen, this is the same thing. The only thing you have to do is find the string gauge you like and get your guitar set up by a proper guitar tech. That's what I did. That's the only thing I did with these, and they work. So our set nowadays, anywhere from 50 to 60% of our set, I'm using my Epiphones. So I got my name on it, it's my signature, and the rest of the set is Les Paul Customs and Explorers from the US shop.
So it's very good. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.